I still think Joachim is better.
Okay, so I want to take you through the steps. Now, in just a minute, I'm going to have you walk through these steps and complete this process. Again, this is a procedural day where we want to get through this. We can set up our other 3 accounts and then go ahead and really start to roll from there. The first thing you're going to do is go to sign in. Now, listen to this. I don't care if you have an account. I want you to set one up for school. So if it says someone else's name here, if it says something else here, you need to go down to Manage Accounts. And we're just going to remove it by clicking and going Done. Now, the second thing I want to point out, see where it says Stay Signed In? If you're on your home computer and you trust your brothers, you know everyone else, that's fine. You're on a public computer. If you're doing this in the library, whether it's Champaign County or here in the junior high, or in these computers where there's 7 other students using these computers every day, do not stay signed in. Okay? You always want to take that off. So, deselect that, take that check mark off, and then we're going to go down here to create an account. Now, I know some people did this during lunch rotation, but here's what you're going to do. Your first name, last name. Now, please, this is the point of, I want to make sure you see, where it says your username. Here's what I want. I want your first name, period, last name, Urbana, and then it's going to put @gmail.com. You don't have to do that. First name, period, last name, Urbana, and then that's it. Then it's going to put @gmail.com. Your password, remember, has to be 8 characters. It has to have a capital letter, and it has to have a number. It can be more, but it must be at least 8. So then we're going to have to do that again. Your birthday, if you don't want to share that much information, as long as you're 13, I always put January 1st. Just because it's easy to remember. That's up to you. If you want to put your real birthday, that's fine. If you don't, you need to be at least 13. Everyone here's 13? So, when you put the year, I wouldn't just pick any year at random. You got to make sure you're at least 13 years old. That's not a problem in here. But if you don't want to share your birthday, put January 1st. It's an easy one to remember. So then I'm going to scroll down. Here's the next step. Mobile phone. Some of you have cell phones. You'll have to go get them. What they're going to do is they're going to send you a text with a number. 42-5179. Something like that. Okay? And you got to put that number in on the next page. And here's the reason why. Otherwise, you get people who can write programs pretty well that will just create account after account after account. Remember I told you I get spammed? Well, that's how people create spam. They create an email address, one right after another. They actually don't do it. They have computers do it, and then they say, hey, send out this, send out this, send out this. And then Google starts to realize, hey, that's a spammer account. They delete it. Well, now they got another one. They just, so it just keeps going. That's why spam is such a big problem. They said there's 5 billion messages every single day. That's nothing but spam. And that's the downside of technology. So if you have another, now listen to this one. If you have another email address that you use, because Yahoo, back in the spring, June, what they did is they said, hey, if you haven't checked your account, you haven't logged in the past year, we're deleting that account. So don't put your Yahoo email address as another one here if you don't check it. If you check it, that's fine. Or if you check your MSN Live. But here's the reason that they do this. If you forget your email, your password, you can say, send it to my other account. And we had people do this. And so they put in their Yahoo account, and then sure enough, they forget their email or their password when they're trying to get into their Google. So they say, send it to my Yahoo. They send it to their Yahoo, then they go to Yahoo, and then, oh, I don't remember my Yahoo password either. Well, if you don't use it, don't fill it up here, okay? If you use it, if you have another email address, fill it in. If not, leave it blank. Really quickly, if you type this, you may not have to do the cell phone. You might still have to, okay? I'm going to ask that if there's a couple of you who do have cell phones, help out the people who don't. So maybe some people didn't bring it to school today, or they don't have one, or they're grounded, or whatever. It's not going to tie their account forever to your cell phone. So if you don't mind, let someone else use it. I'd let you use mine, but you only get 5. You can only do this 5 times with your cell phone, and I've used my Fine Up. I think it resets every 6 months, but mine's been used. I tried to use it this morning. Okay, so you're going to type here. You're going to click here. Basically, the terms of service. Let me kind of go over this. It's free for this email account. Remember how I said we had to pay for Gaggle? This is free. But listen, nothing in life is free. Let me give you a good example. Google has computers that go through everything, all the emails, and it's looking for certain words. So all of a sudden it looks through mine, it starts realizing there's a lot of terms that say baseball, baseball, baseball. I coach baseball with Coach Battle. Now, what I'll notice is ads that start showing up different places are baseball related. Because the computer knows, hey, send this person baseball. Now, someone like my wife who does hair, it might start sending her stuff. Hey, here's a new hair product. Here's a new hairbrush. Here's a new scissors. Because it starts to pick up keywords. Maybe you're into basketball, or maybe you're into cooking, or whatever. It's going to start to see those emails. So that's in their terms of service. And the other big thing is, don't use it maliciously. Don't use it to spam other people. Don't use it to create havoc, or they'll delete your account and possible prosecution if it's something major. But that's their terms of service. And then you're going to go next step. Now, please listen to this. If you do all this correctly and you go next step, some of you may get this message with that dinosaur where it says like, oh, we can't go here, and there's a little dinosaur here, and it's like try again or reload. Please listen to this. Up at the top, if that happens to you, just type in google.com and we'll see if you're logged in. Chances are you are. What's happened is it's getting caught in our school filter. Okay? All right. So I've given you a lot of steps. What I'd like you to do is go ahead, turn on your computers, go to google.com, and let's try this together.